This is more than likely going to be a weird take, but listen, hear me out on this. Godzilla Minus One is the Joker of the Monsterverse. You have a connected cinematic universe of a beloved IP, and then you have a standalone project that is not canon to that cinematic universe, yet somehow, some way, that standalone project is better than the entire cinematic universe as a whole. You know what I mean? So Godzilla Minus One is a brand new Godzilla film that is not canon to the Monsterverse. The film is directed by Takashi Yamazaki, and it stars an extremely talented cast of individuals whose names I absolutely cannot pronounce to save my life. I'm just going to leave all their names up here, that way everyone knows who's a part of the cast. Funny enough, I did record myself attempting to say all their names properly, but I think the world is better off without that video. So the movie takes place in a post-World War II Japan, and Godzilla emerges and leaves behind a trail of mass destruction and chaos. You know, Godzilla shit. First things first, we gotta address the elephant in the room. Godzilla, man, like, wow. Out of all of the Godzilla movies that I have seen, this is the most terrified I have ever been of Godzilla. When you look at what Warner Brothers did with the character of Godzilla and how he's like this anti-hero who wants to protect his territory, it's entertaining. It's not bad. But when you look at how Godzilla is portrayed in Minus One, he is just this terrifying entity. When Godzilla enters the scene, it is nothing but fear, terror, hopelessness, and every man, woman, and child for themselves. Like, this has to be one of the best adaptations I have ever seen of Godzilla. I prefer the Minus One version over the Monsterverse version because, god damn, the way they had this kaiju moving was like Jaws, but if Jaws had legs, was 700,000 feet tall, and could shoot dragon breath. I actually don't know how tall Godzilla is, but point is, he was tall. Yes, I know Godzilla is not 700,000 feet tall. I was being dramatic. Don't attack me in the comments. Point is, Godzilla was this fear-mongering, menacing, brute force to be reckoned with, and the movie did an outstanding job at displaying that. If there is one thing that surprised the hell out of me in this movie, it was the human story and the human connections. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was amazing. For a Godzilla movie, the characters in here were quite compelling. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually cared about the characters and their stories and where they were coming from. And they had me highly invested into where they were going to go from the beginning of the film to the end. Like, I was so heavily invested into the human story. All of the characters were well written, they were compelling, and they all played an important factor in this movie. The Monsterverse can never. Look, I know I'm kind of bashing on the Monsterverse, but when a standalone project handles its human characters and arguably Godzilla better than a connected cinematic universe, that's saying something. And the soundtrack in here is amazing. When Godzilla enters the scene, it is nothing but this impending doom and hopelessness. And God, that music will never get old. I tell you that. And this movie sets itself up for a sequel. Kind of like the Joker. But in the end, y'all, Godzilla Minus One was a hell of a fun time at the theater. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Like, I didn't even watch a trailer. I just saw 2 official images from the movie and said, yeah, I'm sold. Not only is Godzilla Minus One of the best Godzilla films in recent years, but it is also one of my favorite films of 2023, and it was a hell of a surprise. Would highly recommend. So, plugging Godzilla Minus One into the rank system, I am placing this one into the pinnacle zone. But yeah, that is pretty much my review for Godzilla Minus One. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about Godzilla Minus One. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Is this one of your favorite films of 2023? Are you excited for the sequel? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you all in the next one.
After working up the nerve, almost equal in size, I walked around with the iron for any wrinkle in time. I paid a piece of my mind for every nickel and dime, but never less than a 5 and never slept on the job. A killer dreamt on your squad, yet never left the garage, where your God was close enough to see the flesh of his eyes. Get to the button and press, it's what the message advised. What's the threat behind the message where the testament lies?